Right, so starting things off for the hour, the Madlanga Commission, it continues hearing evidence from a number of witnesses regarding alleged interference in police work. Today, businessman Brown Mogotsi is expected to take the stand as the inquiry delves deep into corruption allegations linking senior police officials, politicians, organised criminal networks at large. Perhaps to speak more on this, we're going to speak to SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga at the Bridgette Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria. Canny, the moment we've all been waiting for, phase 2 of the inquiry commences. Perhaps you can tell us what's expected for the session today.
Indeed, a big day for the Madlanga Commission this morning as it enters phase 2 of its evidence before the probe, which will see implicated persons coming in to tell their version of events in the face of damning allegations against them about political interference, corruption and criminality in the criminal justice system. Of course, the first of those witnesses being Brown Mogotsi, that is quite a key figure in this probe, because the genesis of what triggers this kind of inquiry is that there were allegations that the decision to disband the PKTT was not only unlawful, but may have possibly been motivated by alleged undue influences. One of those undue influences is alleged to be these criminal cartels, which we understand are operating within the Gauteng province, and we've heard evidence that once the PKTT moved in on those criminal cartel syndicates, that's when that decision was taken, and it was taken quite abruptly and without consultation. Now, where Brown Mogotsi comes in is that he's a key figure between the police minister, Senzo Mchunu, who has since been placed on a leave of absence, and of course alleged cartel member Bridgette Mabandla. There's quite significant evidence before the probe in form of WhatsApp exchanges and communications between the pair, which show that there was some form of benefit that was allegedly enjoyed by Brown Mogotsi. But to what end is a question that still hangs in the balance. So we'll hear his version of events as to why he was receiving all of these alleged monetary benefits, where were these benefits possibly heading, and what extent to which does he enjoy, if any, a kind of relationship with the police minister, Senzo Mchunu. Of course, there are other details that you'll have to clarify that are before this particular probe in terms of the information that he had access to beyond that exchange with Bridgette Mabandla. But we know that from that exchange, there was certain information that should only be privy to the South African Police Services and their own internal network that he, seemingly as a civilian and an ordinary citizen, had information to. That includes classified documents, images, and of course that ultimate decision to disband, which he seemingly knew prior to the actual key stakeholders inside that particular network, I will guess the structure of the PKTT. That includes Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, the KZN DPP, Advocate Elaine Harrison, and many more, including Lieutenant General Kumalo and the actual police boss himself, General Canny Maphanga, who didn't have that information, but it seems this individual, Brown Mogotsi, was privy to it. And the why is what we're going to get to understand over the next 2 days, how this method will flow before the commission as it enters phase 2, but we're not done yet with phase 1. What you will see is that he will lead his evidence without any interruptions, and then of course when he's done with his version, that is when it'll begin to be tested by the evidence leaders, in contrast to the evidence that has been laid in chief by other witnesses. So it's going to be quite a lot of work for the evidence leaders as they go through each allegation, hear his version, and then of course test it with any version that runs contrary to what he puts before the commission today. All that and more at 9:30 a.m.
Let's monitor those developments alongside you, of course, as that commission kickstart at 9:30 there. Canny Maphanga live at the Madlanga Commission at the Bridgette Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria.